Some days seem ordinary, but then something happens and it changes everything. A week ago it was a day like this. We are driving down a road in North Sweden and sometimes passing a village, but mostly we're just advancing through the giant northern forests. Samuel is driving, I'm the passenger, I look outside, and only for a brief moment I see him. A lone wolf. Hi, I'm Anna, and in today's episode I talk about the similarities of a lone wolf and our lives back in 2020. And I think there is some real good in it. A warm welcome to you, my dear listener, ladies and gentlemen. I've seen wolves in a zoo. I couldn't look at them. It broke my heart to see them behind bars, but I would never have thought that one day I would see one in the wilderness. Because usually you don't see wolves. Even if you live in a place like the north of Sweden where they live, they don't let you see them, but they see us. When you see a wolf, you know it's a wolf, not only because he's bigger than a dog, no, just because of his elegant and smooth movements, which are pure beauty. And you know it's a wolf because only a wolf can touch you that way. From the moment I saw the wolf, I couldn't think of anything else. Even with this brief, short encounter, seeing him for about 3 seconds, I have been thinking about him since. Whenever I close my eyes, or gaze into the fire, or daydream, I see the way he moved, away from the village, towards the forest, and I have tons of questions. How far away is he now? And why was he alone? Experiencing the year 2020, you might feel like this lonesome wolf. Usually we are surrounded by our wolf pack, but that year everything was different. And we might have become more like the wolf I saw, battling all alone for himself. There were times in the lives of a wolf where they had more space, more place. And today even a wild wolf cannot go wherever he likes. He has lost a lot of his habitat. Now we have experienced the same this year. Our liberty was cut away, and some of us don't feel free anymore. This year was about restrictions. No visiting of restaurants, no cinema, no more than 8 people in a group, keep 2 meters distance, don't do this and don't do that. It was all about the things we could not do anymore. Now I know people who are longing to do things they couldn't do this year. I know people who feel imprisoned by the virus. And that made me think of a conversation I had in February 2019, when I visited a state prison with my speech, Let's Talk About Time. I was seeking this conversation with prisoners because even before COVID-19, I always had participants in my workshops talking about being captured in the system. They felt jailed, and even though they were free. Now it's the virus that makes us feel imprisoned. That's where I ask myself, are these people, no matter with or without system or virus, will they always feel imprisoned? Now I was surrounded by guys who were real prisoners. They were locked away, restrictions everywhere for 24 hours a day. And this for weeks, months, years, and some a lifetime. The youngsters in there were suffering badly from being locked in, and they talked about the things they are missing, things they had before in freedom, And I remember this guy telling them the following, and this has been my reminder the last month frequently. He said, if you focus on what you don't have and on what you cannot do, you will be miserable in here. And he puts his hand on his chest. There is one rule, he says. Focus on what you have, only on what you have, and work with that. Now, my dear listener, what is it that you have today? The one thing you have for sure. It's simple. It's you. You have yourself. Are you aware which chance and opportunity you have for one time to focus entirely on yourself? How about taking care of you? How about building a solid base? It's the perfect moment to work on your internal environment, the one that will always be with you and which is your insurance on how you will react to future happenings. Buddha said, every man and woman is the architect of their own healing and their own destiny. Now is the time to develop yourself. If I would be sick, I would take time to find everything out about self-healing. If I had self-doubt, I would try to learn to become more confident. If I would be missing going to the cinema, I would find out a way how to replace this feeling, at least for the time being. If I had to forgive someone, I would learn how to, and I would work on it until I could truly forgive. The time is still right to go deep, to grow your character and to work on your attitude. The time is right to find out why and what for you get up in the morning and if that is a good meaning for your life. The time is right to think about the relationships you have or don't have. And for sure, it's always the perfect time to see the richness in your life, even with all the restrictions. There is still so much richness surrounding us. Even solitude can be richness in life. Because you don't need anybody else to make you happy. That's freedom. That's worth focusing on. As I said last week, the storm isn't over yet. Whenever I hear stay inside, I don't get emotional and I don't look at it from a local perspective, but a reminder to go within, to stay inside. The resumes of the episode are simple. As long as you focus on what you don't have, you will be the prisoner. And if you are capable of only focusing on what you have, no matter where you are, you will be the free one. Self-care counts more than ever, and even if it feels a bit selfish, it's not. You owe it to nobody else than yourself. How you feel and think has an impact on all the people around you. Just imagine how much stronger you will be when you get out of this. You will remember this time as a hard time, but also of the time of growth. You, the lonesome wolf, when the full moon is here, you can howl all your worries to the sky. It's understandable if you feel alone. But remind yourself, one day we will all be together again. And until then, do your thing. It's like the tree. A tree that stands alone in its field is stronger than a tree that stands in a forest, because the solitary tree has to develop deeper roots to support itself. That's exactly what you are doing right now. Be your best friend and take this ride and turn it to something that you will remember as a good memory, because you were able to take misfortune and turned it to a chapter of growth. I can say this because my family did not experience human loss this year or last year, only financial loss. But this is repairable. It's an intensive ride and an unforgettable one. Last night, I saw the northern lights and we watched the lights dancing in the sky for a long time. And even during this phenomenal, unique experience, the wolf appeared back in my mind over and over again. His beauty I will never forget. But I have a sense of sadness as well, because I want him to live in a peace, and I'm not sure if he can with us. And another wish was for you guys, for my listeners all around the world. I know some of you, but the rest, you there, listening to every episode, and it's so much fun for me to know this. Looking at the stats sometimes shows me the responsibility I have to provide good work, and I have a plan to get better, so please just stay tuned. And the wish I had for you also was for you to be okay, that you are keeping up the inner strength and that you are still walking with the head up high, proud of yourself, proud for just still being here, continuing the journey called life. And now take good care, and bye. And by the way, this year my business as a keynote speaker just went down like this. So I created a new idea. I created a new stage. And the stage for me now is my members club. So just a week ago, I gave my first Zoom speech for my members. And it was so touching because some of you guys I've never seen before. And suddenly you were just there. I loved it. I loved it so much that I have decided to give more speeches. It's only $53 per year. And then you get everything. You get the articles, the videos, and also at least 5 Zoom speeches. You can find the Members Club at www.annajelen.com and you click on the button Members Club. Or it's somewhere here, I think. Okay. It would be lovely, 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 lovely to see you there. Bye.